All right, 6 p.m. Wednesday, January 29th, 2025, for the Merriam Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting.
Yeah, like crawling everywhere. Not yet. He's like 5 seconds from that though. So we're rolling everywhere and everything's in the mouth.
How about crummy? Your next Chinese meal will bring you more cookies.
Probably not as many as this one. At least it's up.
Are they all the same?
No, follow your inner truth,
Oh.
your compass in life. Maybe you know.
I can use all the help I can get.
All right, George, we're done.
Okay. Welcome to the first 2025 call to order meeting of the Merriam Parks and Rec Advisory Board. Everybody, Happy New Year. Okay, what do we have? New youth representative, Tyson, you're on.
Actually, I will introduce Tyson.
Okay.
So, you all will remember Evan, had to resign. He is now at Pitt State. And a little update from Mom's doing well. They're maybe not adjusting so well, but he's doing great down there. So we had a vacancy and, Tyson applied. Tyson is the son of Todd Boyer, and that's your sister. Second mom's name is also a T. Teresa, no.
Paige,
Paige. It's a T name. Y'all, the T's had me thrown. So, he will be joining us. I'll let him share some more about himself, but he was very impressive in the interview process, and we're excited to have you. So Tyson, why don't you share a little bit about the board, about what you do and where you're at? How about that?
So again, my name is Tyson Boyer. This is my 14th year living in Merriam. So my entire life, I attend Hope Lutheran Middle School and will be attending Shining Mission North High School next year. I've always had an interest and love for the Parks and Rec community and the things that have been provided and hosted by this board. And I thought that I would like to get more involved, so I applied for this position.
So if we would go around the table, kind of like we did with we had other new members join us. If you will say your name, how long you've been on the board, and what your favorite event is, that will give Tyson an idea. While he's been here all of his 14 years, maybe there's something we do that he doesn't know about. So Doug, we'll start with you since you're like right there.
Yeah, so Doug Murphy, and this is only my second month here on the board, and I haven't participated in any of them as a board member, but we often go down and watch the cars at the Turkey Creek Festival, and so we always enjoy that.
Alex Supple, same boat as him, first, just new. We are big farmers market fans, so even if it's not a standout event, we go all the time.
David Zuckley, been here about 2 years, and yeah, I think just the Turkey Creek Festival. Fun there.
I'm Kathy Stoll, and I don't know how long I've been here.
Longer than me.
Volunteer of the year.
And I enjoy working the Breakfast with Santa and the Breakfast with the Bunny. They're fun.
You know who I am. We're good.
I'm Abby Hall. I've been here for about 3.5 years, and I like to dive in with you.
And Abby's one of our staff members. She'll take minutes for the meeting.
I'm Christopher Leach. I'm in my 6th year on the board, and I regularly volunteer for the Halloween do at the farmers market, or as we know it, make the old man run.
George Vessel, this is my second term on the board, first time chair.
I'm Katie Leary. This is my 10th year on the board. Our favorites we love the pool, so the pool party was really fun the last couple of years.
So, all right, well, we're glad to have you, Tyson, so I think everybody's in attendance, yes?
Yeah.
You show everybody? Okay.
Except for Dave.
Yep, Dave's gone, Dave's in Manhattan.
Okay, public comments, okay. KU Aquatics, go for it, ladies.
Yeah, hi, and I'm not sure, we sent,
It's in their
letters to
packet.
people. Okay,
I'll pull it
fantastic.
up, it's right here.
In addition to that though, I just wanted to share, some of the things that have grown out of our partnership. We are in our 4th year here at Merriam, and the program Sensory Aquatics provides swimming and water safety lessons specifically for kids with autism. This year, since last summer, we've had 131 total lesson slots that we were able to offer, which is huge growth from when we first started. 27 of those are for adults, and we are the only swim program for adults with autism that in the area that I know of. I think some of you know that we started a research collaboration with you all. So City of Fairway, City of Lenexa, and City of Merriam, you all are collaborating with us on research where we are investigating swim instruction techniques that work best for kids with autism. So Merriam is one of the schools that's providing the standard lessons, and we are providing the adapted lessons. And I just wanted to share a few highlights. We're actually well ahead of schedule with that, which is exciting. We've had 34 out of 50 participants complete all of the research activities. And those research activities include taking a pre-test swim test to screen to see if kids are eligible. If they're too good at swimming already, we can't have them in our study. They do a motor test, and they do a few screening things to see what their autism severity is like. And then we randomize them either to the standard lessons or our lessons. And so far, we've had 34 participants. We have slightly more that have been through our lessons than the standard lessons. And the groups, swim lessons in general are improving kids' swim skills significantly from when they start to when they finish. And the swim test that we use is based on the Red Cross water competencies. So it's things like, can they turn around and find an exit? Can they exit the pool? Can they swim 25 yards? And if they can, like what level of support is needed? So those are the water competencies. But then there's also preparatory skills of even being able to be around the pool safely or in the pool. So with those things, it's a 36-point scale, and there's a 5.6 point improvement from pre-test to post-test. If we look at preparatory skills, those improve by 2 points. Water competence, which is really what they need to be safe, 3 points, and then water safety, it's only just a couple questions, so there's just very little improvement there, but that's things like being able to walk on the deck safely, not running away from an adult who might be with them, those kind of things. There are significant differences between the groups with greater improvement in the one-on-one adapted lessons than the group lessons. We expected that. I think that the really great thing is that the kids are improving regardless of the lessons that they take. And that's a big take-home message for us. I've also learned recently that there are other, and I'm glad, other places, other universities are trying to do research that's similar. And there's a bit of an assumption that only adapted lessons are helpful. And they're not getting funding because they're only wanting to look at the adapted lessons. So I think it's really, really special, and we're really grateful that you are willing to be our partners in this. So that's the quantitative results. I also want to share a few qualitative comments, and please know research-wise we have not really dug into these with any kind of rigor. These are just a few things that we've gleaned from our interviews, specific to being part of the standard lessons. And so we've learned from families that there's some uncertainty around group lessons, and that families are a little hesitant to want to try group lessons and invest the money in it if they think their kids are going to have to be pulled out or be unsuccessful after 1 or 2 lessons. So they're really grateful for the opportunity to try it without having a financial burden. The learning challenges that parents are sharing with us are inattention, especially if the environment has a lot of stimulation, difficulty waiting. We've interviewed instructors and they are sharing those same learning challenges that they are navigating as instructors. And parents are noticing that the instructors are supportive, that they take time to demonstrate the skills, that they're patient, and that they use redirection well to get the kids back to lessons. And that so far, the greatest support for the standard lessons has been bringing in a second instructor if a child needs it to be able to be successful. So that's kind of what's going on with the research. Also wanted to share that we're so grateful that you all provided us space and use of your facility for our fundraiser last year. We had over 50 participants and we raised over $17,000. And that money is used for scholarships. We use it to pay for equipment and uniforms so we can keep our costs low for all of the swimmers. And to cover some of the increased costs of liability and things like that the university will not cover for us. Also want to share that this particular fundraiser for KU Medical Center has the most individual donors. Even if it's just, $5 to pledge a kid to do their swim-a-thon, it has the most individual donations of any fundraiser that they run. So that's a lot of people that are having contact with Merriam and with our program, which we really appreciate. And then we are already trying to plan for next year, have a potential new partner to bring some vendors into the events. We piloted having some adults join us for the swim-a-thon, and so we will invite more neurotypical adults to join us next year, and then we're also reaching out to some swim teams who may, including Merriam swim team, to see if they would like to attend the event. So I know I just shared a lot of information very, very quickly, but I don't want to keep your meeting from being too long, but we're also, all of us are happy to answer questions. This is Kayla, who is program director, and Michaela, who directs some of the lessons and is completing a capstone project with us.
So the one thing I do want to add, tonight we'll just ask questions, and then this will come back next meeting to make a decision. Since this letter was written, and it was written in December-ish, November, we have landed on a date in July, and it's not a date that's in this letter. So if this is approved, we are in agreement of that. So staff has been all of this has been worked out so that we have whatever date we land on. If you guys approve this next time, staff is aware and we are already working towards that date. So at this point, this is your chance to ask questions of the group. They don't have to come back next time to present their request. This is their chance to present their request. We will discuss it as a board next meeting for my new people, but this is your chance to ask them questions about the fundraiser if there are any. This would be our third summer helping them in this event. Fourth summer. Oh gosh, sorry.
Time flies. I just have a general question. Are you able to find instructors okay?
For the most part, we get a lot of our instructors through the university, so we have like an entry-level community-based experience that the students go through, so we get some of our instructors from the OT department.
Okay.
We've expanded to try to include some PT students and SLP students. Had some pretty good luck with that as of recently, but I would say 70-75% of our staff is OT students from the med center. Outside of that, it's just a little bit difficult of a process sometimes to get people who aren't students.
Well, they have to be qualified, first of all.
Have to be qualified. The pay rate is different for someone who's not a student at the university, yada yada, all of that good stuff. But typically we're recruiting from the med center and the Lawrence campus, trying to get instructors to participate.
I think we've kind of maxed out on how many kids and instructors we can have in the pool at a time, for the time that we're partnering with you all. If we get too many in there, it's just too crowded into a person.
Sure.
Yeah.
Another mega curious if we have any Merriam residents who participate in the program. It's not a prerequisite for me, but it'd be nice to know.
We do have several. I can get you numbers or email Anna numbers. We've had a couple, handful. Same goes for other locations too. Typically, people like to have something that's close, so
Yeah.
we usually have.
Would that be
at least-
confidential information?
Not the numbers, we couldn't share names, we
Okay.
couldn't share how many.
Yeah.
We also, I know, I don't know how many, cause we don't have a way to track this, but I know just from talking to families, we've also had families that have come to our lessons and really enjoyed the Merriam Community Center that have then got membership so that they can continue on their own.
Having on those numbers, I think would be good.
Do you expect this event to expand in future years? You're already kind of maxed out now.
Well, their swim lessons are.
Oh, okay, okay, I
not
thought the
fun-
event,
not
okay,
the
okay,
fundraiser.
alright.
Yeah, and swim lessons on the nights that we're, at the pool. I would say actually Wednesday, we still have a little bit of room for growth, that's our adult program. There's room for growth there, but the Thursday night with the youth, I think we're maxed out.
The wheelchair, was with this group, right?
Yes, that is correct. Good number.
Cool wheelchair.
It is
Yeah.
very helpful. Do we have any other
Anything else?
questions? So just to recap so that you guys understand, the swimathon would be a Sunday in July.
July 13th.
Thank you. Because the church is also here on Sunday mornings, we would already have facility staff in the building that the church is paying for. So that facility staff, they would not be responsible for. The staff they are responsible for are the lifeguards that we would be bringing in. And their request is, that the lap lanes are donated. And that's a time when there's nobody in the space, we are benefiting from the program. So that will be the decision that you will be discussing at the next meeting. I'll have a cover letter, a cover memo from staff with our recommendation, and as well as their request. So that will be the new item next month.
And we're actually requesting the entire outdoor space
Yes.
at that time. I know that there were some lessons that were in the, baby pool area last year, which was not, it wasn't terribly problematic, but I do anticipate we're gonna have growth this year to need to use that space.
Cole knows that.
Yeah. It just, I think it slipped through the cracks last year and we were
Okay.
able to make it work.
Alright,
The other interesting thing that happened last year was that it was our first weather event, and we needed to pivot inside quickly. And so, very grateful to the patrons and to, Cole and the staff for helping us be inside and be safe for about 30-40 minutes of the event last year.
last year was on a Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, that was,
All the
wasn't,
other
why
Sundays.
did they have swim lessons on a Sunday?
It was a makeup lesson, yeah.
But we would have lessons on Saturday, but we don't have lessons on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Most time is before it's even open to the public, right? On
Yes,
Sunday?
on Sunday it would be, but it kinda was on Saturday too. Anyway, but, yeah, we've got you. Alright, any other questions?
Thanks a lot.
Can I ask a question? I appreciate knowing that the numbers of how many, Merriam, numbers are part of our lessons. Is there any other information or things that we could do that would be helpful for the board?
So the information
Not
you
just-
shared just about the success and growth of the program was helpful to hear, and the impact it's had.
So just so that you know, we do a rec report for every season. And so in our packet tonight is the fall rec report, so it captures, September through the end of the year. And we provide numbers to them as part of classes that we offer or partner with. And so that would be included, so they see those numbers and what your enrollment looks like versus participate, like we track enrollment and we track participation.
Wonderful.
So they see that, and then it's, so every season, that's provided as an update.
I'll just offer that a lot of our advocacy as individual board members, well, it can be formal, say at a city council meeting, but sometimes it's very casual with a conversation in the hallway with an elected representative and just being able to say, oh yeah, they came and talked to us and we know there are Merriam kids who participate in the program, we love it. It is very helpful to just be able to resonate about our successes here with our overlords. That's cool.
Also, open invitation if any of you ever want to join the event, come see
Yes.
what it's about. We would love to have you.
Yeah.
So, It's fun.
Right.
It is, it's my favorite event of the year.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Billy, anything from you?
Nope. Not this
Good.
month.
Okey dokey. Approval of minutes.
Move we approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passed. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Staff director's reports.
Alright, so, as always, I always give you the updated, information, and then I just provide updates to what was in this and things that have happened since I released this memo, so, in the memo, we mentioned that the HDMI connectors in some of the rooms were sketchy and faulty and acting up. Those have been replaced, they were replaced late last week, they are now fully operational, and we're not holding our breath every time we plug something in and hope it connects on the screen when we have a rental group. The Merriam Park Recreation and Community Center Foundation held their annual meeting, and in that meeting, staff asked for a wish list of items that they fund through their foundation and their fundraisers. And this year we are very fortunate, they were very generous. They will be purchasing a piece of equipment, it's a squat rack platform. We were going to budget for it in 2026, it's about $8,000. It allows, it's a platform that allows people that heavy lift to drop weights. People are currently dropping weights, and it's,
Onto the floor.
no, it's gonna do damage. And so this squat rack platform comes with specialty weights, and it'll allow them to drop and provide some cushion. You'll see it in weightlifting competitions. So they said, well, why wait till 2026? We'll buy it for you. I'm like, great. So we have that ordered. As of today, the order has been placed. So I believe that's usually a 6 to 8 week window before we get that in, but that will be added to the fitness floor. With the price of coffee going up, they are going to sponsor our coffee station. $2,500 of support. They will be purchasing coffee and supplies. In addition, we will be getting some reusable mugs. We're still working through the logistics of that, but the thought that we have a handful of people that drink coffee every day, and that means every day they're throwing a cup away. And so we kind of talked to them about, would you? And they're like, well, yeah, we'd use a coffee mug. And if some walk because people want the coffee mug, then that's just, you know, a tchotchke that's out there with the foundation's logo on it, and maybe, you know, that raises awareness of the foundation and more donations. So we'll be seeing that change. We'll be getting a new coffee urn. We're having some discussions on what the new coffee urn should look like, just because of from a safety perspective, but we will be getting some upgrades to the coffee station thanks to their donation. They will be sponsoring $9,000 in scholarships. That doesn't mean that scholarships will end at $9,000, it just means that $9,000 will be reimbursed. Last year we did a little over $12,000 in scholarships for the facility. So they will be donating $9,000 for that. $1,000 to the Merriam Drive Live event. They will be a sponsor of that event. And they will be purchasing a piece of work out of the Heartland Purchase Award, or out of the Heartland program, the purchase award up to $1,000. So they've completed round 1 of the judging, or their selection process, and round 2 will occur in mid-February. In addition, the Dolphin Fund, which is a sub-fund of the foundation, they will continue to support swim lessons and swim team. There is no limit on what they will support. They will write a check for whatever we give out in scholarships. Obviously, there are requirements to qualify, but they don't put a limit on what they give. And they are also purchasing a book called Swim Team. Big waves, small changes, big waves, big wave, I don't remember. There's a little subtitle underneath of that, can't quite get it. And any child that completes the youth swim program will be getting that book, and there's a sticker on the inside that says Dolphins and Shawnee Mission Bison, you know, to honor that that's who the book came from. And so anybody that participates a youth lesson will get that along with their swim certificate, in hopes that they will be encouraged to maybe join a swim team. It's a graphic novel, it's a comic book. but it's thick. It's for kids 8 to 12, so youth lessons are 6 to 12, so the younger ones, it'll be a little too old for maybe, but it's a cute book, it has a good message, the little girl moves. Her extracurricular, or the extra classes that you take, I forget what they call them, she wasn't able to get to what she wanted, so she ended up taking the swim class. She didn't like to swim, didn't know how to swim, and then the journey of joining swim teams. So it has a good message, so it's an award-winning book. So we'll see, but that'll be just for this year, anybody that gets youth lessons. So kind of a lot of things going on with the foundation this year, so we're excited about that.
And a question about the scholarships. You give away 12 and they're providing 9. How will you divvy up that 9?
Oh, so we don't. Basically, you apply, I approve you,
Oh, okay.
and at the end of the year, if I just say, hey, I gave out, some years prior to this, they would award a certain dollar amount and I might not reach it.
Okay.
We are exceeding what they're giving us,
Yeah.
so we don't cap scholarships. If you apply and you're eligible, you get it.
They're gonna get it anyway.
They're gonna get it.
But-
They're just reimbursing the city for $9,000. It just helps offset our expenses
Okay.
of the scholarships, so.
Okay.
Yeah, keeps us whole. Scholarships aren't 100%. If you receive a scholarship, you pay $20 a month to have a membership here
Okay.
for a family. $10 a month if you're a senior. We do kind of an 80-20.
Mhm.
Is usually what it's based on. So, and then the reason we're meeting tonight, yesterday we had a great day at KRPA. Bob was awarded the Distinguished Elected Official for the state of Kansas through KRPA, so he was there at the lunch. We received an award for the Taylor Swift event that we had last year from the state as an innovative recreation program. And then I received a leadership award for the administration division, so I was honored by that. They had this video that came on in the room and it like blared really loud, and then there's this ginormous picture of me on the screen, and I just kind of went, oh my god. It was a little overwhelming. I don't like to be in the limelight like that, so.
That was a nice Facebook post.
It was. Jenna did a great job with that. She did that. And then in addition, I did an hour presentation on the journey of the Merriam Community Center and how we got to this building from 2012 on. I was nervous about being able to have enough material to talk for an hour. And at the end, I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta go. Like, I need to wrap. I had a lot of material and at the end, people came up, and I'm gonna be helping some of my colleagues across the state that are going through similar things. So I wasn't sure it'd be well received, but it was very well attended, and I was excited that, I'll be able to help some other people, maybe be able to do something similar in their communities. So I appreciate you guys being flexible and moving this meeting to tonight so that could all happen. So those are my updates. Happy to answer any questions about those things in particular.
Well, at least make the comment that you kind of downplaying the award and how awesome of a job you and the whole team here is doing. So well deserved, and
thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you have a big future. Needed more. So yeah, just awesome job.
Thanks.
Congrats.
Thanks. Any other questions?
We've been having any other issues with cold weather? Like, there's a lot of drama last year. With just cold, weather shelters and stuff like that.
No,
Okay.
we have not. We had one lady one day that I'm looking at Abby because I don't know if you were here in the morning yet. We watched very carefully, but she never caused any problems. But since we got off the list, our friends in Lenexa are not bringing buses of people here.
Does the library take anybody in?
They are a shelter, but they're not having. We just had a meeting with them, and it's typical foot traffic for them.
But only during their regular opening.
Yes.
So they don't provide any special service.
Just a warm,
A person you can come in and sit down.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just last year we were getting
Bus loads.
yes with belongings. We looked like a hotel one day. It was not pretty. A hotel that didn't have rooms cleaned. and everybody was waiting to get their room.
Not exactly high-class hotel either.
No, it was tough, but yeah, no, thank you, that has been resolved. We still will take people that just wanna sit, but not busloads. Any other questions? Alright, let's go on to, our membership and, reports. This is an exciting number. We've increased by a little over, right at 1,000, memberships from 23 to 24. One thing that I'm gonna give you a preview of tonight, for January. Blue Cross Blue Shield dropped their Medicare Advantage plan. So if you had Blue Cross Blue Shield's Medicare Advantage and you use Silver Sneakers, you had to make a decision last fall to change if you wanted, whatever you're gonna do for Medicare. So what we will see in January is we are gonna see, everybody renews in January anyway from an insurance-based program because they have to re-up their program every year. So those programs are January to December. But what we're gonna see when we see the January report is there's gonna be a skew of Silver Sneakers because we're gonna see people go from Silver Sneakers to Renew Active is what happened. Is they went from Blue Cross Blue Shield to United Healthcare. So we're gonna see some variations there. So I wanted to warn you when those reports come out at the end of February that you're not like going, holy cow, what's going on there? Then the bottom number should still look good, but individually across the board, it's gonna skew dramatically. So memberships, we're excited. I mean, 1,000 new memberships and our cancellations went down. There's nothing we can do about that. I mean, that's kind of a ebb and flow of the business. But the one thing you wanna see is you wanna see that your retention rate is at least 50% more than your cancellation rate. So we're right there. I mean, we got 1,000 new and we lost 500. So, you know, we're industry standard right there. Some are even worse than that. So we're excited about that. We'll go on to our visits just to kind of give you a picture. Nothing new to really add here to the visits. You know, obviously we crushed 2023 very early on. I am a little disappointed that the 2 days that we closed this year are gonna affect January overall numbers. It'll be the first time that we do not surpass the month of the year of last year. So we likely will not surpass 2023 numbers. We are up in visitation from 2023 to 2024. So we see 402 visits per day in 2024 to 394 visits in 2023, but that's just not a big enough growth to make up for 2 lost days. So it's gonna be close, but it's not gonna beat it. The same thing with daily visits. We just won't beat it missing those 2 days. But on a positive side, even though we missed those 2 days, revenue is gonna be really close to beating it. So we're moving. There's still things growing. It's hard to make up those visits when you have to be closed. And then we had that really cold weather, so there are days that our numbers kind of tanked.
You should just measure it against the hours you're actually open doing business. Isn't there an example for that in the state?
Yes, there is. And we have it. It's just, you know, we're looking at it just month over month. Well, there'll be a little asterisk, but we always like to kind of beat what we're doing. It's a pride thing. So those are the updates that I have for membership and visits, if there's any questions. Okay, want me to move on?
Yep.
Okay. Fall recreation, as I stated, we like to compare our numbers year over year, season to season. So we've got 23 and 24 here on the board. I'll go here first. Obviously, we saw an increase from 23 to 24. That's about 6,162 visitation increases. For my new people, what we like to do is you'll see that we do an enrolled versus participation. So if I'm enrolled in a swim lesson and the swim lesson they meet 6 times, that's 6 participations. So it's 1 enrollment, but 6 visits. So that's why the numbers are a little different. I will tell you, I was looking over the aquatics section. I have other staff that checks this, but tonight I looked at it and something's off in the youth aquatic group, and I need to look at that, a little bit closer, cause our enrollment dropped, but our participation went way up. So something didn't get, we fat fingered something. So I wanna look at that a little bit closer, and I'll report back what I find, just to give you an update. But we want those numbers to be a little bit more, we want them to be accurate, and something to me is saying that that's off. The other thing I wanna point out and make you aware of is that we are not happy with what's happening in this section right here with the adult fitness. It continues to kind of, for my new people, we hired a new fitness person in May of last year. So her first highlights is winter, spring. So this highlights that we're in right now is her first real highlights that she was able to input. But I will tell you, the one we're working on for summer, she has like 7 new programs running, and it looks good. And she's working with the instructors in these classes to figure out how we can improve them or change them, or what's going on that we can improve their numbers, because they should be doing better than what they're doing. So we want to make sure that the classes that we're offering at the time that we're offering are pulling people in, or what people want. So we use this report to analyze and evaluate that. So that's what those numbers are telling us, is if we look at something and we're like, now don't worry about this. Oh, hey, Jason. Enrollment of 0 in these fitness classes, the plus means it's a fit class pass. So they pay $25 a month, and they can go to any class they want. So they don't necessarily enroll in that class, but we're getting $25 a month from anybody that attends those classes. So that isn't a worry there. It's more these numbers over here that I'm looking at, these participation numbers. We need those to do something a little bit different. So like I said, she's really working to build those classes and bring in some younger new instructors and see if we can maybe hit some things there. So we're looking forward to that.
I noticed that between 23 and 24, enrollments in many of the categories were less, but the participation was more.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
And some of that could be that we're doing a better job of getting people to actually check in when they're coming. That sign in when you get here thing, we're doing a better job of, hey, are you here for a class? You need to sign in, and educating people to that process. That could be part of that too.
I think the infant survival classes are a little low on, maybe, at least no one sort of courses, so there should be at least one.
There's not a number there, there's some
that might
things.
be the low part in your
Yeah, well, but those don't get a lot of people enrolled in them, but there should be some numbers there. Yeah.
We're good with getting a fit pass
Yes.
people and finding out which class they're attending.
Yes, they do. They have a good process in the morning, specifically in the morning, because especially on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, when seniors come in, they could go to 3, 1 of 3. And some people come in and they go to like, I'm here for 2, I'm here for, well, yeah, they have a good process. They've educated them well. Any other questions about the fall report? No? Okay, so because it's the year end, we also do an annual report. So we take all the seasons and crunch those numbers together and give you what it looks like year over year. So this obviously is the 4 years that we've been doing programs in this building, because we did not do programs basically in 20. So it's interesting to see the growth across year to year, and where we're seeing those areas of growth. So that bottom number, that grand total, 21,941 more than 2023. So it's exciting to see that growth and to track that. Just it's just an overall, hey, this is what we did last year type of thing. So we look at it more as an individual, but when I come to city council and we do our annual report for city council, and you guys will get an annual report about the same time that we do it for city council, might be next month, when all of our numbers are finalized. I use these numbers. It helps me pull it together and track it. Any questions?
It's a pretty high ratio of individual experiences to total population of our city.
Yeah.
23 to 1.
It is. So in preparing for my presentation, one of the things that I looked at was kind of our service area prior to this building. And prior to this building, it was basically Merriam. It was just Merriam residents. I looked at our membership base and where our membership is coming from. There are some outliers because we obviously have Merriam business people that have memberships here through the corporate policy that we offer. But just looking at individual households, a 20-minute drive is pretty consistent. Prairie Village, we get some people from Lenexa, KCK, Mission, Roland Park. Yeah, we have KCMO. I mean, where we're pulling people from is now truly a metro area. It's
Shawnee also.
yeah, Eastern Shawnee. Yeah,
Mission, that's pretty good.
yeah. A lot of our Mission people are probably insurance-based residents or insurance-based memberships. When they closed down to do the pool repair, they came here, and some of them never left.
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
Good.
So anyway,
Art competition?
yep. I am Dave also tonight. So included in the packet was the evaluation of the high school art show. We like to show this just to show you where we're at and how it went. It's an awesome event. We get awesome artwork. We still have a couple schools that still have to pick up. You'll see that schools increased this year. It's hard to look at 2019 and compare that to 2020. 2019, they were still used to IBFCC and we had more space. We try and take about 100 pieces of work, but you can see we tried to take 151, and that was what we were able to take at IBFCC. We can't take that here. We take about 100. So as teachers have realized that we are more limited, we're getting better. So it's getting harder to pick the top 100 is basically what's happening now, which is great. The quality of work has greatly increased. So the event went well. I don't really have anything else to add to that other than, it's a good night and it's a good opportunity for high school students. Any questions? All right, move on to the Christmas in the Courtyard. So Christmas in the Courtyard, that's a free event. It's when we light the Christmas tree and light the municipal plaza. It was noted that the library wasn't involved. I will remind you that we asked them and they don't light any of their buildings. We're gonna maybe see if they'll participate as part of the activity section of it. But that will be up to them because it is a secular event. I don't know how they stand on those things. They did participate in Halloween, but I recognize the difference between Halloween and Christmas. There are some things that were a little difficult. Santa rode in the truck. He was difficult to see in the truck, like when he rolled up, it took him a little bit to get out. We need to work on the logistics of that a little bit.
Crane out a crane.
Yeah. They did roll a little bit too slow. I mean, the tractor was slow. They rolled that fire engine slow, and I'm like, okay, we can go faster. Please drive fast. I mean, when I'm sitting there going, okay, drive faster, drive. It was a slow roll. The anticipation was great. It just needed to maybe be a little bit faster. So the first time we've done it in the fire truck in a long time, so we've got some things we need to work out. We're gonna, we've already worked on securing Crestview Elementary. We had Merriam Park, so we've already worked on securing Crestview so we can have both elementary schools. Prior to this year, the music teacher really didn't want to have anything to do with it. They have a new music teacher. Merriam Park and her have I believe it's a her. I believe both of them are females. Have a good working relationship, so they've already started talking and working on the logistics of that. So we're excited that maybe next year we will have both schools. That will just increase the number of people. So anyway, we had a little disagreement with the balloon guy. For those of you that are maybe not as aware, face painters and balloon people, when they realize what their timeline is, they'll put a sign at the end of the line and says, this is the last person, sorry, this is where we're ending. I'm not sure what happened with the balloon guy with his sign, but he had given the sign to somebody and the sign ended up like further down the line, and he's like, no, I'm only getting paid to, he stayed beyond the time he was. So we did have a lady that was a little upset about her child not getting a balloon. So we'll just need to monitor that and make sure that when he does that, we either give it to a staff member and we end it with a staff member, because you're just giving it to a random kid and that kid's all over the place, it could happen. So we'll address that, but other than that, we thought it was a well-attended event, the activities went well, so. Any questions about that? Okay, our last event was Breakfast with Santa. This event always sells out. We had some people that registered that didn't show up, obviously, because you can see by the registrations to attendees. We've gotten really good about making sure we get as many people in as possible to maximize that event. We had a new breakfast people this year. The Boy Scouts did the pancakes, so I think that worked better than it had in the past.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah, that's kind of what our staff had said as well, so, you know.
They had lots of people helping them.
Yes, yeah, that's the nice thing about Boy Scouts. So, we're gonna continue to evaluate this, and see how we can continue to improve and grow, and, you know, see if there's another opportunity outside of just Breakfast with Santa. We'll see. Questions? Comments?
Very good. Good year.
Well, it's a good year. Didn't quite make our money, that's okay, that happens. All right, upcoming events, we have artist opening reception on February 6th. You might recognize a familiar last name there, that is Ingrid's husband. He is a photographer, so he'll be part of the show in February, so if you're available, next Thursday night, from 7 to 8:30 here. He's Jeff Berg, the first one.
Roy Inman
I know Roy.
is probably one of the most important photographers in the city.
Yeah,
Say that again?
Used to
Roy
be,
Inman.
Oh, yeah,
used to be a star
incredibly
photographer.
significant photographer.
nice. Yeah, so it'll be an interesting show. I mean, all of our shows are good, but you think?
Seems like it.
He's a mature artist.
Yeah, a lot of our artists are, so. We will be having a free day next Friday, so Merriam residents can get into the community center for free. They just have to show, proof of residency. We do this several times a year as a thank you to residents for, giving us the opportunity to operate this building and to have this as an amenity. They voted to have it, so we like to give them the opportunity to come and use it for free if they cannot or do not want to have a membership. So Friday is the day, so share with your neighbors that if they wanna come and check it out, they can come and see it all day. Everything but classes are included, okay? And
Have
then,
we historically seen an increase in memberships at all following Freeday?
not usually. But we are seeing an increase in people taking advantage of Freeday, so that's a good thing, just so that, you know, maybe they come as a day pass, we don't have a way to track
Yeah.
that necessarily, but it is good to see that residents appreciate the fact that they can come for free. So, and we always try and pick a Friday, try and pick a Friday, and we try and pick days that Shawnee Mission is out of school, so that there's something fun and free to do for families.
Got hot chocolate this Friday.
Yes, we do have hot chocolate this Friday, and that too is free. Am I here this Friday? Yes. Oh, no, that's this Friday. Yeah, forgot. Wrong Friday.
It's a target for only
Hot
children.
chocolate station.
For the hot
Jason.
chocolate day.
No, it's for everything. No, because it's actually this Friday and Free Friday is next Friday. I got my days mixed up. I was trying to get out of January sooner. We're gonna have an 80s retro party, we hope, if we can get enough people registered. This is one of the new events that we're trying just to kind of offer new opportunities for people that, maybe remember the 80s and want to relive it. Trying to maybe gear that to a little bit older crowd.
Trying to put it down.
Sorry.
Since for 40 years. It hasn't worked.
So right now, we don't quite have the registration numbers, but we have till Friday, so we'll see what happens. But it is a new program that we're trying. We have several new programs, this winter that we will be, trying to do. Silent Disco and, Magical Kingdom.
Superhero.
And Superhero Day, yeah. So we have some new things coming up this winter that will be fun to see if they go, so. Any questions about those upcoming events? Alright, so the last thing I have is a program update for the, Heartland exhibition. So, Ingrid provided me a little update, so I don't quite have that memorized. This year we had 63 artists that submitted 181 works. This is a decrease of 64 artists from 2024. We're not sure why there was a dramatic decrease, as the event was advertised in the same manner as 2024, other than maybe people are realizing, once again, they have to pay to submit their works, and it's $45, and if they don't get submitted, if they don't get accepted, they don't get their $45 back. So I don't know if maybe people are like, oh, I've never get submitted. We change the judge every year, so we tell people that, don't think that just because you didn't get accepted this year doesn't mean you can't get accepted next year, but maybe that's part of the reason. I don't know. We'll evaluate that if we see that happen again next year. There are 6 states represented in the submission. That is down a little bit. Normally we're like 9 to 11. Arizona, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Ohio, and Oklahoma are the states that are represented. Artists wanting to submit an application complete the process digitally via the website. We receive that notification via email. We enter their information into RecTrack, and then we call and collect their entry fee. So we're excited that that's the standard process. That's been the process for the last several years. And then she just wanted you guys to know that the foundation is once again purchasing a work from the show to add to the permanent collection. We only have 2 more spots available this year and next year. The end of this hallway. The last year's work is actually hanging on this wall right here between the directional signage and the Tim Murphy Art Gallery sign that Scott DeBoll made. We didn't want to hang that last year because we wanted to see what this year's work was, and we're going to hang them together, and then next year we'll put the piece of work in the middle, and that will be the last year, unless unless the foundation decides to put artwork in a different building, which they typically like it to be in a very public space, and we are the most public space. The judge, Mike Flora, will be on site the week of February 10th to select the winners of the event, and the opening reception is Saturday, March 1st from 5:30 to 7:30. If you're interested in volunteering at that event, please contact Ingrid, or let me know and I'll let Ingrid contact you. So that's our update on the Heartland.
Very good.
Okay.
Anybody else got anything? Motion to adjourn.
Oh, I do, under the advisory board roster, I'm sorry, I forgot, you guys got a new roster. The one thing I didn't correct on this is who the chairperson and vice chairperson are. Got everybody else corrected, but I missed that, George is the chairperson and Christopher is the vice chair, Katie is not. I'm not gonna print out a new one for you, everything else is right, but I did not update that after the election. I was more worried with getting all the new people in.
And you got
I got them. I'm excited about that.
Okay. Now, can I ask for a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
Okay. Everybody out of here? Thank you very much. Abby, here's a few more for the staff.
Wow. Thank you guys. Have a good evening.
Regular meeting next month.
Regular meeting next month, yep.
Yeah, you're here like regularly, aren't you?
It is now that they open that door and that slider.
Congratulations on your first meeting.
That was one of the words you learned really quick. That and candy.
Yeah.
Expert.
Stress was good.
We got a test back.
Did everybody get a good fortune?
Good.
Looking forward to this year. I don't know, we're looking back on like where we were like.
Be successful.
This kind of this year, it's like,
Yeah.
Have a little more relaxing and a little less stressful.
Well, let's hope so. Well,
I said,
I'm
welcome
glad-
again.
I've
See you
been
next
thinking
month.
about you guys and have been asked for an update, so.
All good news and,
Nice to meet
yeah.
you, Tyson.